Well, it's been a little while. It has been interesting past like week and a half. And yeah, I was just gonna talk about that today basically. I fuck man. It was pretty brutal. I'll talk about it. But, basically the TLDR is I had a shitload of work in a very small amount of time, and then I got sick, as you can probably kind of hear in my voice a little bit. And also Christmas happened. That was the thing that happened. Honestly, like, I kind of almost forget that Christmas happened. Like, usually Christmas every year, I'm like, oh shit, today's Christmas. This year Christmas is like, oh yeah, I forgot it's supposed to be Christmas. Yeah, yeah. So anyways, after the last time I made one of these, it was Sunday? No, it was Saturday. I uploaded it Sunday. It was Saturday the last time I made one of these, and it is now Wednesday of the next week. So it's been a little bit. And after that last one I made, I went home, got, what's it called? I made some cookies. I made some very interesting cookies. Maybe I'll put some pictures here. Let me, because I'm trying to think of ways to memorize, hey, edit something here. And so I'm gonna put a little note there, I guess. I don't know. We'll see if I remember, but if I remember, here are some cookies that I made. They're very interesting cookies. I make interesting cookies. Like, I don't, we have the cookie cutters and shit, right? What I like to do is I like to kind of mix and match the cookie cutters and make some weird stuff. So for example, I made we have one that's like a sitting dog, and so I took that and then I put a Santa hat on him, and I made another one where it was Santa's body and then the dog's head, and I do stuff like that. And I made some pretty weird ones, and yeah, they're pretty good though. So yeah, that happened. I also forgot to mention last time that day, or was it that day? No, it might have been Sunday actually. I was looking, I just went on Reddit really quick, and there was this big post. It was Best Buy has the Switch 2 with the Mario Kart World Bundle for $450. And I was looking at it and I was like, it's probably not going to be available, right? It was still available. And I was like, should I buy Switch 2 right now? And I was really contemplating it. I was like, maybe it's the time, because apparently, supposedly, the price might be going up eventually, because number one, there's tariffs, and number two, there's the whole thing going on with GPUs and RAM and SSDs. And so basically, all those companies that make those parts are but we get more money from AI. So we're going to make that for AI instead. So fuck the consumers. So, yeah, it's rough. But I was thinking, fuck, I'm still a little sick and throat's been kind of all over the place the past little bit. So yeah, that might happen a little bit. I'm not sure. But I almost bought that Mario Kart bundle. I almost did it, but I held off and I said no. And then I kind of regretted it. I was thinking about it. I was like, but what about when the new Pokemon game comes out? I want to play the new Pokemon game when it comes out. And I'm not going to be able to play it probably on the... I mean, maybe they'll put it on Switch 1, but I doubt it. They're already kind of struggling with Switch 1 as it is. I don't know. But I'm kind of glad that I didn't, as I'll talk about a little later. I'm glad I did not buy Switch 2. We're just going to say that. That would have been a very interesting situation. But, yeah. So I did that. I think I'm going to kind of talk about this more in depth in a future video. But I'll just kind of briefly mention it here. I haven't really, worked on it yet because everything has been so crazy since I did this. But I decided to make a Tumblr account, which that's a very weird thing for me to say. Like, I feel like something had to go awry in my life to do that, but it's not for, like normal reasons or what people usually use Tumblr for, right? I wanted to make a Tumblr account because I kind of mentioned it. I don't, it might have been that last one. I mentioned that I really wanted to like just start writing stuff and like, kind of make like a little image maybe to accompany it and post it. And so I was thinking that might be something I'd want to do. And I was looking into potential ways to do that. And Tumblr kind of seems like the best option. And it's also kind of nice because it's not, modern social media bullshit where it's like infinite scroll. Well, I mean, I think it might have infinite scroll. I don't know. But it's like infinite scrolling, retention garbage, algorithm bullshit. It's a lot less of that. And so I thought, you know what, maybe. We'll see what happens with that. But I might eventually start making stuff on there. And it was also very funny because I was going to try to take my actual username, right? Of SharkWithNoPen. And then it was telling me that there was somebody already named that. I was like, what? And I actually went and looked and I was like, oh my God. What the fuck? And like this person was posting back in like 2014 or some shit. I was like, wow, that's crazy. But I think they only took that username because I think they like ran out of characters. I think it was supposed to be Shark with a pencil. So then they had to go Shark with the pen because they couldn't fit the characters, I think, or something. I don't know. But anyways, that'll be for a whole other video talking about that in more depth. But I just kind of wanted to mention it, I guess. It's something I did. And also on that Sunday, got my mom a new phone. Also, I forgot. Hold on. We're going to do this. Okay, we're locking and we're increasing the brightness and we're going to see what happens. Because it actually did kind of make a difference, but it also kind of made me look green. Like it made me look like I was on Zetsubo no Shima. That's what it made me look like. I was like, what the fuck? But like, also, I mean, you can see better. So you can see better. I mean, it's going to get dark pretty soon. It's 5 o'clock right now. So it's going to get dark. So, yeah. But, anyways, as I was saying, the other thing I did on Sunday was I went to the phone store. I went to Verizon with my dad because we were going to get my mom a new phone finally. Because she got, the last phone she got it like a year after I got it. Because basically, I was thinking about this a little bit. There was a post I saw recently where somebody was like asking, how many phones have you gone through since like starting Pokemon Go? And I thought about it. And I started off with the Note 4. That was the first phone I'm trying to think, like that was the second like real phone I had. I had like some flip phones. I had like one, like very basic like flip phone, like it literally flips, and then it's like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's that shitty thing. And then I got like the flip phone, like when people think of flip phones, like the sliding kickstand sort of thing, where like the keyboard pops out. That was my second phone that I had. I had one of those. And then third phone I got was like an actual Android phone. I think it was called the Samsung Stellar, and it was like pretty shitty little phone. It was like tiny. It was like maybe this big, maybe. It wasn't huge. And then I got the Note 4. I really liked the Note 4. It was cool, but the pen was kind of a gimmick. Like I used it a lot early on, and I used it kind of a little too much. I was like really trying to like use it as like a DS stylus, and then the tip kind of like broke a little bit. And it wasn't it wasn't as smooth as it once was. So that happened. And yeah. So I had the Note 4, but then I wanted a new phone because of Pokemon Go. Because Pokemon Go, like, you were lucky to maybe play the game for an hour before your phone was basically dead. And so I wanted to get a better phone for that, right? And I said, I might as well upgrade, right? I might as well just stick with what I got, but upgrade. So I got the Note 7. And if you know what the Note 7, and you know what the Note 7 was, it didn't last very long. Because it kind of turned out that, the phones are exploding. And that was the whole thing. That was the phone where they were like, what's it called? That was the phone where they were like stopping you from taking it on cruises or planes or anything because everyone was like hysterical about it fucking exploding. They sent us like a box and we had to send it back, and it was like, explosion proof. It's like fireproof box. It's like, wow. That was a big catastrophe for Samsung. And the funny thing is that they pretty much just made the Note line again, but they just called it the Ultra. Like, the Ultras are basically just the Note. But, like, they can't call it the Note anymore because the Note has, like, horrible branding associated with it from that. But so, the whole point of this is that after that Note 7, I didn't know what to do. And there was like a very small period of time I got like this shitty HTC phone. That sucked. I hated that phone. And I was like, nope. No, I remember like a Hearthstone, like it was supposed to be like a gaming phone. And I remember playing Hearthstone on it. It ran like utter dog shit. I was like, no. I didn't want to go back to Samsung after the Note thing. And then I was like, nope, I'm going back to Samsung. So then I got an S7 Edge. And a year later, my mom got an S7 Edge. And she's had that S7 Edge up until like, that Sunday. And we got her an S25. Just a regular S25, not the S25 Plus that I have. And, yeah, so that was cool. Because she really needed a new phone. Like, that phone literally would not charge to, like, 40% after, like, the battery had been depleted once until you restarted it and shit. And, like, she could barely use anything. Like, nothing worked. She couldn't use her camera. When I was trying to initiate, like, the smart switch between the phones, the guy at Verizon was telling me first off, like, I don't even know if it's going to work because her, the smart switch the version of smart switch is so old. And it did work. And then, the new phone was like, scan the QR code and whatever, right? So I was like, okay, I'll scan the QR code. And I tried to pull up the QR code and then the whole thing crashed. The camera literally crashes if you try to open it. So, yeah. It was time for a new phone for her. So we got her a new phone. But in the midst of getting her that new phone, I kind of found out, like, my boss texted me. Like, I looked at my phone at one point when we were doing this, and I looked at my phone and I'm like, my boss texted me. And he said, are you going to be able to work the day shift on Tuesday? And I was like, sure, whatever you need from me, I guess. And basically, he had to rewrite the schedule because my one coworker that I usually work with a lot during the nights, he wasn't going to be able to work some of those days next week because they scheduled him at his other job. And so, we're down a person already. Not great. And then the guy who does the morning shifts, he got the flu. And it was like, uh-oh. So now we're down to like 2 people. So, they were really going to struggle in the morning. And so they kind of needed me. And I was like, all right, whatever, right? I'll do it. And he also told me you can come in early on Monday if you want. If you want a couple extra hours, you can come in on Monday. And so went through the rest of Sunday, kind of just did some little things here and there, not much. And I uploaded that video and all that. And then Monday came and I decided to go in at 10, which is not what anybody expected. Nobody expected me to come at 10. You know, they were thinking maybe I come in at like 12, maybe, instead of like, you know, the 1:30 I was supposed to. But I went in at 10. And I got there and like my boss was like, "Wow, you're really early." What? But I was thinking like I don't want them to be screwed in the morning because he's not, you know, because the one guy who got the flu is not going to be there. So I want to make sure that I can help them. And I was really glad I did because it was crazy that morning and we had like no grab and go set up. It was really, really bad. Like if I had not been there, they would have been absolutely fucked. So I am really glad that I decided to do that. And the thing is, I had to be there for 12 hours. So it was going to be a long day. It was the longest shift I'd ever worked. Longest shift I ever have worked. 12 hours. And it was not easy, for sure. It was not easy. But I did pull through. I did my job. We got the deli closed. But I am going to say one thing that I'm not going to like fully say here, but I'm just going to say I witnessed something that kind of made me think twice about ever like buying sandwiches or buying other things from this place. I was like, oh, we're just going to say it involved the garbage. And I was like, wow. I don't know if I ever want to buy sandwiches again. And my one coworker has even said, like, never buy the sandwiches. Never buy, like, the cold cuts. Never buy any of that stuff. Okay? Do not buy that. Ever. Like, even if you get it for free, don't even take it. And I was like, you know, I saw that. I was like, you know, maybe not. Maybe I won't. We'll come back to that. So anyways, back of that day though, when I took my lunch break, because I had to take my lunch break while my other coworker was still there, because my boss was like, make sure he gets his lunch break, because I usually don't take my lunch breaks until like the end of the night. So, I took my lunch break, and I was talking to one of the front end employees that was at the self checkout because I was like paying for my lunch, and the store manager comes up to us, and I was like, oh, is he gonna like, he'd be like, why are you guys, you guys are talking a little bit. I mean, I wasn't like, sitting there for like 10 minutes, yapping to her or anything. I was just like, she was like, hey, you doing anything for Christmas? And I was like, well, I don't know, because our dog, her eye kind of exploded. So, and I was talking about that to her, and then he came over, and he was like, "Hey, I wanted to give you this," and I looked at it, and it was a $5 coupon, because I exhibited great teamwork, because I came in hours early to help in the morning when my boss didn't say, "Hey, we need you coming 4 hours early." He just said, "Hey, you want to come in a little early? That'll be helpful." And I showed up a lot earlier, and it was really cool to like, I really don't get to talk to the store manager that much. I get to talk to him every now and then, but not very often. And so to see that, I was like, wow. Like, he just came up to me and gave me like a thing to like kind of recognize, like, you are going above and beyond. And I was like, wow, holy fuck, that's crazy. So there was that. There was also another moment that day where I have a coworker that, he usually works in the kitchen, so he's usually not really there, but he's like technically a part of the deli, but not really. But he was there to kind of fill in, because he does some of the deli stuff. So he was there to kind of fill in because we were, short-staffed. And he was talking to me, and he said, when I first saw you, I was like, this guy is gonna be trouble. Because, I'm like a young guy, I don't really know anything. I had no idea what the hell I was doing when I got in that deli the first time. But he told me, I was wrong, because you are, you're a fast learner and you're a hard worker, and, you're doing a really good job. And it's one of those things, like, he is a very unserious guy, and to hear that from him, I was like, holy shit. And like, this isn't just like a guy who, he sees what I'm doing every day. He understands, like, this guy is working hard. This guy is learning fast, right? He doesn't even see that as a train coming, unfortunately. Oh well. But I was like, holy shit. Like, the fact that he is saying that to me is crazy. And here comes the train. And there it goes. Okay, I think I should be okay now. But I was like blown away when I heard that. So that was a cool thing. But anyways, after that, closed the deli with my other coworker, wished him Merry Christmas because he wasn't going to be here on Tuesday or Wednesday. And from there, I knew it was going to be probably a little bit of a struggle. So day 2 came, and I woke up. I had to wake up much earlier. I had to wake up my boss told me I could come in a little later. So I came in at 8 because I was tired. It was also sleeping. It was also snowing. And I didn't have to work the last time it snowed, but this time it snowed. And I was gonna have to clean off my car. I didn't do that last time. So yeah, I had to clean off my car before I left, because the snow wasn't bad. It wasn't really that sticky or anything, but it was snowing. There was some snow on the car. So that was kind of an experience in itself. I kind of mentioned last time talking about driving in the snow and all that, but this was my first time having to clean off the snow in the car and go to work when it's snowing. And it was interesting, but it wasn't that bad. So yeah. We also had a little pizza party thing, which I kind of struggle to call it. It is a pizza party, in quotes. Because to be honest with you, wasn't that much of a party, and also they didn't get very much pizza. So I got really lucky because I can feel it. Hold on. Fuck. It's still in there a little bit. But yeah. Oh my god, dude, this train's going crazy. But there was not a lot of pizza to speak of. They got 4 pies or something. And so a lot of the pizza just kind of evaporated immediately, and I got really lucky that I had just taken my 15-minute break, and I get there and it's oh, pizza. Okay. So I took a slice, I ate it. It was pretty good. I was pretty surprised, but I had no idea where it was from initially. It was good pizza. I gotta go to that place one day. I'll go there and get some pizza. But yeah, apart from that, I forgot to mention that on Monday, it was crazy busy. I am talking probably the busiest I've ever seen it. Probably ever. I think it even beats Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was crazy. This was nuts. The fucking most insane I've ever seen the deli in my life. It was nonstop all day, just fucking go, 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 go. And I was definitely, I'm not going to say I was struggling. I was doing the work and I was doing it well. But dude, it was fucking tiring. It was crazy. So, yeah, Again, insanely busy, doing my best, but very difficult to do your best when, yeah. And also, I think I saw the president of the company I work for, and I was like, holy shit, what? Like, there was just some guy who, the store manager was with him. And the store manager before had asked me, like, hey, if you have a chance, try to fill up some of these grab and goes. And I was kind of, like, surprised. Like, he usually never says that. Like, usually he never even really comes around that much. So I was like, wow. Like, he really wants me. Like, I don't know if he was like, yeah, I want to buy some of these grab and goes or something. But then later on, the store manager and this other guy were passing by the deli. And the guy, I heard him talk behind me. Like, he was kind of like at a distance. And he said, hi, Teddy, from like kind of far away. And I was just like, hey. And I had no idea who he was. I didn't know anything. And I thought it was weird he knew my name because, like, I don't have my, like, you can't see my name tag from that far away. Like, is this guy fucking Superman? Like, what? And then it hit me. I was like, that guy kind of looks like the president of our company. And he, maybe that was the president of the company. You're like, why would the store manager be with him? And I was like, oh shit, that's crazy. And I've actually been told, the guy who usually works the morning shift, he told me one day that the president of the company actually came to, the deli and, talked to him and spoke to him and just shook his hand. And I was like, damn, I kind of wish I got to shake his hand at least. That would have been cool. But, still, at least I got to see him once. That was cool. I got to see him in the flesh. Usually that doesn't really happen unless, like, you got, like, a real local chain or something, right? But, yeah. That was cool. That was a cool thing that happened. And then the coworker I've been working with the past couple of days, she ended up actually leaving early. She was like, I'm fucking leaving. Like, I don't feel great. And, she said she's going to urgent care afterwards. Now, I don't know if it's like, is it like another health issue or did she get sick too? And, yeah. So that was something that I kept in the back of my mind. But from there, just doing my job. I didn't have to close that night, so I was only there. I was working a 10-hour shift that day. Well, technically, I mean, they were fine with me working 8 hours, but I was like, I'm okay with staying a little longer. So I ended up staying for 10 hours instead of the 8. But, yeah. One of the other things is the assistant store manager, because he's kind of a deli guy, so, he knows us and he, talks to us a lot. And, he came by and he told me, I got a compliment about you. He's like, guess who it was from? And I was like, oh, it was from the store manager because, he gave me that coupon, right? He was like, no, somebody higher. I was like, who's higher? The president? Like, what? And then he said to his mom complimented me and said I did a good job. And I was like, wow. Apparently I'd sliced something for her the day before and she said I did an amazing job. And I was like, wow, what the fuck, man? Like, I was just getting showered with so much praise. And I mean, I really do try my best. So, yeah. But so, anyways, stayed for 10 hours that day. And then I went home and I got home and that assistant manager again, he called me and he told me, that coworker that left early, she called out for tomorrow. So, he asked if I could come in at like store opening. And I was like, okay. So, yeah, I was coming at the store opening tomorrow. And she actually still, I believe, has not come back yet. She's been out for a little bit. She has been probably fucked up, which, spoiler alert, basically, my coworker that got the flu, he had like he had like a fucking temperature of like 105. He had like a fever of 105 for like 3 days. And he was like really fucked up. And maybe she got that too. I got really lucky. And I'll talk about it later. But I got really lucky and I didn't really get the fever. It was just I had chills and I was really fucking tired and I had like really bad headaches and just horrible congestion. Like I was just coughing a lot and my nose constantly running and like my nose is constantly stuffed. Ugh. But I'll come back to that in a little bit. But anyways, day 3 rolls around. This is the big day. Because I have to be there from store opening to store closing. And it's like 11 hours because we were closing early because Christmas Eve. But still, it's crazy we were open Christmas Eve at all. And, dude, I was so fucking exhausted. I had to get up giga early. I was like, dude, this sucks. And I was already not feeling my best. Because, you know, I'd worked 22 hours the past 2 days. Just put that in perspective. 22 hours the past 2 days. I was like, this is going to be rough. I'm having to work another 11 to put me up to 33. And I also, my stomach was fucked up too, which I don't think it was actually a stomach bug. I think it was because of chicken sandwiches that I ate. Like, my mom got me these chicken sandwiches from Walmart. And I swear to God, the 2 times I've eaten them, they have, like, fucked up my stomach. And I have, like, fucking the worst diarrhea. And I'm really thinking that that might have been the cause. Potentially. I don't know. But, yeah. So, I get there. I get to the store. I'm a little late, to be honest. I was a little late. But I got there, and it was literally the deli manager and my one other coworker. She does a lot of the sandwiches and stuff. And yeah, it was basically that. It was a skeleton crew on Christmas Eve. And my manager, when he saw I came in, he was like, "Oh, so you did come in early." And he didn't actually want me to come in early. He wanted me to just come in at the regular time because he didn't want to, you know, he told me a bunch of times. Like when I was saying like, should I stay, you know, a little longer the day before? He was like, okay, but, you know, don't kill yourself. Which, that might trigger maybe some stuff on YouTube, I guess. But that's what everybody says, right? You know, basically, don't work yourself to death. Do not fuck yourself up to the point where, like, you know, you get fucking hurt on the job or some shit. Or, like, you know, you hurt yourself. Because, you know, we want you to, you know, keep being able to work. So, yeah, he said at one point, he's like, they're trying to kill this kid. And yeah, that was something. I will say that I never had any problems with him. There was also something I was like, he does know about some of the stuff that's been going on. Especially, you know, with the asshole coworker I've talked about before. He knows a lot of that stuff, and nothing has kind of been done about it. But, you know, I also kind of wonder, like, maybe his hands are really just kind of tied with that stuff. But I do have a lot of respect for him, and he's been nothing but, like, a great, you know, great boss. He's been always, you know, accommodating, always kind. I've never had any issues with him. I know when I did the interview, the guy who was interviewing me, he said, you know, manager could be a little bit of a hard ass, but, you know, like, I never viewed him as a hard ass. Like, he's always just a very chill person. He's a very, you know, good person. I got no problems with him. But also, going back to the manager thing, it was kind of funny to also see managers doing the job of, you know, their employees. Because we had the assistant store manager, he had to cover for another department because nobody was there. And then our manager was, you know, covering for that coworker that called out. And I was just like, that's like, it just feels so weird to see that, because usually those guys are doing other things, and here they are doing the jobs that we usually do. So I thought that was pretty funny. But anyways, though, main highlights of Christmas Eve, there was one guy that gave me a $1 scratch off. That was cool. I didn't win anything from it, but just the act of doing that, I was like, that's fucking awesome. Like, the fact that this guy goes out and he's like giving every employee like a $1 scratch off. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So that was cool. Also, we got super busy, and my asshole coworker is supposed to come in today again. He was there yesterday. He closed yesterday, and then he was supposed to be there again this day. And he was supposed to show up at a couple hours after my shift started. And he didn't. And he ended up showing up 45 minutes late. 45 minutes late. Like, I was like 20 minutes late that day. It wasn't a huge deal. I mean, I was supposed to be in later, but I decided to come in early. And he showed up 45 minutes late, and I was like, dude, this mother... I'm so pissed off. And the sandwich girl, she ended up helping me a lot, because it was literally just me. It was just me, and there's like fucking a million customers. Like, I couldn't do what I had to do. I was really trying my best, but it was hard. And she actually later on, she gave me like half a sandwich. She said, you take this. And I was like, okay. But I was also like, do I want to eat this? Because, I had thought about what I witnessed the other day, and I was like, I don't know. I mean, is this thing gonna kill me? But I decided, you know what? I am gonna try it. I am gonna eat it. I didn't eat very much of it, to be honest, because it had a lot of stuff on it. And I'm like a very plain sandwich person, because I'm a picky eater still, kind of, a little bit. And it was like, because it was like beef, and I'm not big on beef in the first place. I don't really like beef that much. Like, I'll eat it, but But it also had like peppers and onions and stuff on it. And I don't like onions, and I don't really like peppers. So I ended up scraping most of that stuff off and just kind of had the beef. And I was like, that's alright. But I didn't eat that much of it, but it wasn't horrible either. I was like, it wasn't that bad. So, but I would say the larger problem was that my stomach was like fucked up from those chicken sandwiches that morning. And I couldn't, like, I was struggling to eat stuff. It was rough. And then when I came back from my lunch break, dude, I started feeling cold, and I wasn't feeling great. I was like, I don't know. And it kind of started getting to the point where, like, so many things had compounded, because I was tired, I was hungry, I was cold, I, was potentially sick, as I later found out. I was like, I am struggling to even, like, keep my eyes open here. Like, I'm struggling to even fucking stand half the time. I'm like thinking I'm just gonna, like, at some point I'm just gonna go, just fall over or some shit, or just collapse from exhaustion. Like, I was like, dude, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. And on top of that, asshole coworker, right? He is really not helping me much. He is, like, intentionally being slow. And it's like, there's like, being slow, and you talk with the customer for a little bit and whatever, right? No big deal. This guy is like, it's very intentional. He's just trying to be as slow as possible, so that he has to do the least amount of work possible. And that means I have to pick up all the slack, and it's not fucking fun. It is not fun. I think there's another train coming, so that's great. But it's very funny watching our assistant deli manager, which is different from the assistant manager I was talking about before, because that's the store assistant manager. This, she's the deli assistant manager. And it was very funny. Train is slowly coming. But it was very funny watching her slice like crazy And then he's over there like he's like fucking barely doing anything. So, damn, this is a slow train. It's crazy. But, yeah. Dude, like, he was pissing me off. He was going so slow. And you just know it's not like a, well, you know, this is what I can do sort of thing. It's like a, you could do more. You can do more, but you choose not to because you don't want to do work. So, I was really getting tired. I was like, dude, I don't know if I can keep doing this. So, I ended up taking a break. I didn't even tell him. I told the sandwich lady, and I left. Because no, I didn't want to do that, dude. I didn't want to do that. And I sat down for 15 minutes. I came back. I was like not feeling great again. I'm trying to do my best, deal with customers. And there's a customer that came, and I'd known her before. She comes pretty often. And there's been a couple times where, like, it's not even she wants something. She's like, can you help me open this water? You know, she's an older woman. So, but she came by, and she didn't want anything. She wasn't even really a customer, right? But she was like, would anybody back there want this hot chocolate? And it was like a hot chocolate from Dunkin' Donuts. And I was like, oh my God. And I knew I was instantly like, yes, we will take that. And so I was like sitting on the counter for a second. I took it and I pulled it back behind the deli, which, like, we're not really supposed to have like drinks back there. Like, usually we have to hide our drinks like in the fridge or something, right? And I was like, no, I'm taking this. I don't give a fuck. I am taking this, and I'm gonna watch over it like a hawk, because I was worried that other motherfucker was gonna go and take it. And I was like, no. I am having this hot chocolate. And just the thought of the hot chocolate, dude. Oh my God, dude. I was reinvigorated. I had like a second wave of fucking energy. I was like, dude, it's happening. I'm back. We're so back. And if it wasn't for the hot chocolate, I don't think I would have been able to go as long as I did. But, thing is, eventually, there comes this one customer. And this guy, he is a little bit annoying. He's a little bit of he's very particular about what he wants, which is usually prosciutto. And he wants it, like, as thin as possible, and he doesn't care if it shreds. Fuck. And so, I'm gonna take a sip of water. How about that? Take a sip of water. But so, this guy, he wants, you know, this prosciutto as thin as you can make it. Don't care if it falls apart. So I'm sitting there, I'm slicing it, dude. And I was feeling it. I was like, dude, I am gonna pass out in the next like 10 minutes. Like, I was like delirious trying to fucking slice this shit. It was rough. And it was, I didn't slice it well at all. Like, it was horribly sliced. It was like terrible. And also, by the way, this piece of prosciutto was like a tiny bit of prosciutto. It's much harder to slice tiny little bit of prosciutto than, you know, a fucking big piece. So, it was rough. And I was like, dude, I can't do it. I'm leaving. So, I went up to my asshole coworker and I told him, I think I gotta leave early. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this. And I was a little concerned about what was gonna happen, right? Because I felt like this guy was gonna be pissed at me. And he'd be like, you can't fucking leave me here. Are you serious, dude? You know, like, you can't leave now. You have to stay. Or some shit like that, right? And he, surprisingly, he was like, He's like, I understand. And I was like, wow. And I don't know. Like, he probably deep down was like, this motherfucker, he's fucking leaving me. He's leaving me to fucking, to go. And it's like, I mean, I had worked 29 hours in those 3 days, I worked 12 hours and then 10 hours and then 7 hours in quick succession. And some of those were very early in the morning. So, like, listen, I had to go. It was happening. So, I don't know if he actually, was pissed at me or not, but it was what had to happen, dude. I wasn't gonna be able to make it. So, told him. He told me, go talk to the store assistant manager. So I did. I talked to him, and he said, go talk to the store manager. So I talked to him. It was like a very quick succession. Like, this store assistant manager, he's like, close to outside the deli. So I went to talk to him, and the store manager's like right there. So I had to talk to him. It was like very awkward and strange, but like I had to do it. I was like, I have to fucking leave. There's no way I can stay, dude. Literally, they're gonna risk a fucking workplace injury, and then they're gonna be down a fucking guy, down potentially one of their best workers, because, yeah. So, we were gonna have the kitchen guy again, the guy that complimented me, before. He was gonna fill in for me, but thing was, he was on lunch break, and there was still 10 minutes of his lunch break left. So, they asked me, you think you can make it 10 more minutes? And I was like, okay. So I pulled it together for another 10 minutes. And of course, my asshole coworker, as soon as I came back, he was like, I gotta go to the bathroom, so I'll be back. And he left. He left up until like the kitchen guy was back. And I was like, you're fucking kidding me, dude. You leave me alone? Like, I'm like about to fucking pass out over here and you leave me alone. Oh my God, bro. Like, it was tough. I remember I had to slice a cheese, and like the cheese slicer was in rough shape. And it was hard to fucking slice on that fucking thing. Like, you could feel every fucking groove of that thing because it was so fucked, because it was just go the whole fucking day. No breaks, pretty much. Unless you were taking a break, you got no breaks whatsoever. It was customer. That was it. So, yeah, it was fucking tough. But I somehow made it through 29 hours in 3 days, and I said Merry Christmas to a bunch of people before I left. But there was one person I didn't get to say Merry Christmas to, and I kind of felt bad. I really wanted to say Merry Christmas to her. And I saw her on Monday, and she was like, oh, I'll see you on New Year's Eve. So I was like, yeah, sure. I'll wait to say Merry Christmas to you then. And she was like gone. She like had just gone to the bathroom, and I was like, I don't want to wait for her. I don't want to like feel weird. Like, I waited for you so I could say Merry Christmas. Because also, like, I'm trying to leave, and I don't want the managers to be like, why is he waiting like another 10 minutes? That's weird. So I was like, I'm just going to leave. And I told one of the guys, like, I was like, let her know I said Merry Christmas. I gotta go. Because I'm gonna die. So, yeah, that was what happened. I got home, I ate a bunch of food. I got one of my Christmas presents early, which is one of the things I wanted the most, and honestly, it's been so clutch, which was a Snuggie, which is like, holy fuck, what a blast from the past. But I was really thinking about it, and there's been like nights where I'm like on my MacBook in bed, and I really don't want to take my arms out from under the blankets. And so I was like, how can I solve this issue? And I was like, a Snuggie. And I remember that Snuggies still exist because I've seen them before in like stores and stuff. I was like, I want a Snuggie. So I asked for a Snuggie for Christmas, and it had just showed up on Christmas Eve. It was supposed to not even show up before Christmas, and it showed up on Christmas Eve, and I was like, "Oh my god!" It was perfect, dude. That thing like saved me. I was so cold and tired. Like the chills were one of the worst parts of it. Like I felt like I didn't even want to get out of bed because it was so fucking cold. And so having that Snuggie, dude, oh my god. Snuggies are awesome. I will say that like one of the arms, it like did rip a little bit, which it might have been my fault, I don't know. But it did rip a little bit. So that kind of sucks. But I mean it's not like a huge rip or anything. It's just like a tiny little rip. So that Snuggie is so good though. I love that thing. But anyways, for most of Christmas Eve and Christmas, kind of just felt like shit. You know, it was mostly in bed for most of the day. It was kind of what happened. But towards the end, I did get a little better. So I got to have some Christmas dinner with my parents. We ended up not going to Christmas with the rest of the family, which sucks because I haven't seen them since like October. So, you know, because I've been working and then we had a lot of stuff going on with dogs and, you know, yeah, it's been rough. So it really sucked we couldn't go. I really wanted to go and that didn't happen. So, but did get to open my presents. I didn't get to wrap the ones that I had gotten because I had spent like months really trying to prepare for all this Christmas shopping and then just boom, you know. But it seemed like my parents enjoyed a lot of the gifts that I got them, so it was good. That was a cool thing. And I got most of the stuff that I asked for. So, for example, I got a new microphone, which is a dynamic microphone instead of the ones that I was usually getting, right? I think they're condenser microphones, usually the ones I was getting. Like the one I had before. It was like it's like a mini Blue Yeti. And that one was like fine, but I wanted something different. And particularly, I wanted something for singing. And this was, you know, basically that. I got like a Samson Q2U, I think is the thing. It's a pretty good microphone. I like it. I haven't fully like utilized it yet. I just utilized it today for the first time. I did some singing for the first time in like a month and a half. And didn't go that great because I'm still kind of congested and all that. And like it's kind of hard for me sometimes to like breathe through my nose and, you know, yeah. But that was cool. I wanted a new microphone. And this is nice too because it's like, I forget I think it's unidirectional or something like that. So really it only picks up audio from one spot. And so, you know, that means it kind of blocks out a lot of other audio. So that might be good in the future if I end up like, for example, if I end up streaming or something down the line. I don't know if that's going to happen, but just, you know, in the future, if I end up streaming or whatever, maybe it'll kind of eliminate some of that background noise, which would be nice. So, and it also, I did get a mount with it too, like a shock mount, so that, you know, when I fucking move the mic arm or something, it's not gonna go boom, 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 or like fucking, you know, it's not gonna do that. I might have just fucked up the audio. I probably shouldn't have done that. Why did I do that? I don't know. Anyways though, I also got a keyboard, and not like, you know, gamer mechanical keyboard. I'm talking about like a musical keyboard. And this one has like full-size keys because I know some like the mini keys sometimes can be difficult for people. So I was like, I'll just get the full-size keys. It's probably best, right? So I haven't messed around with that at all yet, but I'm very excited to eventually. Maybe even tonight. I don't know. We'll see. I have a lot of things I want to do. So that was awesome. I also got new yoga mat for exercising because the other one I had was like a shitty one I got at like Five Below for maybe $10. Something, maybe $10. I don't even know. Might not even been $10. But it's like very, very thin, you know. So this one should be a lot more cushy, a lot better. We'll see how it goes. I just bought like I got an Amazon Basics one. So yeah, I don't know. Other than that, I'm trying to remember. I mean, obviously it's a Snuggie and stuff, so that was cool. Yeah, I mean, those were most of the things I really wanted. So, but I got a few extra things, and most of them were just kind of like little gifts, that sort of thing. But big thing I got, the big extra thing I got was a Switch 2. Yeah, Switch 2. Remember when I almost bought that and then I didn't buy it? Thank God I didn't buy it because I got a Switch 2. It was funny too because my mom was like, I was telling her like I almost bought a Switch 2. She's like, don't buy a Switch 2. And I was thinking she was like, don't buy a Switch 2 because Nintendo's woke because they don't like the tariffs. And, if you hate Trump or his tariffs, then, you're just a woke democrat Satanist. And you probably want to fuck kids or something. But, like, I didn't realize it was like, for a little bit, I didn't realize it was like, don't buy a Switch 2 because we bought you a Switch 2. And I kind of didn't want them to get me a Switch 2 because it's expensive. I was like, I'd rather just kind of spend my own money on it. But they did it. So, yeah. That was how I ended up spending a lot of my weekend. Because, like, hell yeah, dude. If I got a Switch 2, I'm going to use it, right? And I didn't even really have that much I wanted. Like, I have Mario Kart World. I haven't launched Mario Kart World at all. I didn't give a fuck, dude. I don't care about Mario Kart. But what I did play was they got me Legend ZA Switch 2 edition, which like I was gonna buy for the $10 upgrade pack, and now I just had, and now I had 2 copies of Legend ZA, so that's something. But, yeah, I ended up playing a lot of Legend ZA, and I finally finished the game. I'll go back to that in a little bit, but yeah. I also just kind of, for Christmas, since I didn't have a lot to do, I ended up just playing a lot of games, and I realized that a lot of games on Steam actually have a lot of Mac versions, which I was surprised. I was like, wow. So, I tried Blueprints, and I was kind of like, I don't know. I haven't gotten into it yet. I think it's one of those games that you get into it, it really fucking, gets exciting. But it's like right now, I'm just kind of very on it. It's just kind of like, okay, I'm making rooms, and then eventually I get fucked over on the rooms, and then I just have to leave and do it again the next day. It's like, I don't know. I haven't gotten into it yet. I also got into Time Spinner randomizers, which I love. Time Spinner as a game. It's like that Metroidvania game that, it kind of is like a spiritual successor, I would say, to Order of Ecclesia in a sense. I really like it. I really just enjoy the gameplay and stuff and the feel of the game. And I found out I had a randomizer like recently, and I never really got into it. And I recently decided, fuck it, I'm buying it on Steam so I can play it. Then I found out I had a Mac version. I was like, and I found out the randomizer had a Mac version, and I was like, so of course I'm gonna try that shit. And I spent forever trying to fucking get it to work, and then I finally got it to work, and I was like, yes. And I played it. First run, to be honest, was a little all over the place because I clicked the thing and said YOLO. I didn't realize it's gonna YOLO all the settings, so some of the settings were a little because basically not only were like the chests and stuff randomized, but there was a bunch of shit in like the torches. It's like every fucking torch you had to destroy because there could be something in there. So that was an interesting thing. And then I did another run that I almost was worried I wasn't gonna be able to finish because I missed one check, and I tried going back in that room and it was crashing the game. And I don't know why. It might be because like maybe when you turn the power on in that area, it it starts crashing the game. I don't know. But I finished that run, and then I did another run on my PC. And I've gotten pretty decent at it. I've gotten better at kind of learning the progression and stuff. Part of the reason I was doing it, and it was fun, is because I kind of forgot about the progression, like how it worked and like what you had to do, like, the things you need to be able to get to these areas. So it was fun to just kind of re-experience that on Christmas. That was cool. And then, as I mentioned, I finally finished Legend ZA. Finally, it's done. I don't know how to feel about the ending. Like, I kind of liked the ending, but also, like, the ending was kind of, like, all over the place. It was also fucking, like, really difficult, to be honest. I was kind of getting my ass handed to me. And to be honest, I think one of the greatest decisions I made when I fucking, when I started playing that game, I just kind of had, like, this random Cleffa that I was evolving because I want it for the decks. And I was like, I guess I'll let this Clefable just kind of hitch a ride, with the rest of the team. Why not? I kind of need I kind of need a fairy type, and it kind of fits with the theme that I have going on here, which is like a bunch of kind of big beefy boys. And like that Clefable single-handedly like carried me in some fights. Like it was huge. It was so big. Especially when I got Mega Clefable. Holy fuck, dude. That was so that thing carried so hard. Mega Clefable, kind of the GOAT. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah. That was awesome. But in terms of Legends Z, I had no idea how it was going to go because I was like, what's going to happen when I go from Switch 1 to Switch 2? And how is it going to go from the Switch 1 version to the Switch 2 version? Turns out it was pretty much effortless. It was like fine. It just transferred my save data over and everything. So that was good. And it runs very smooth. It runs so well. Like, the Switch 1 version, I think, runs pretty well for Switch 1 game, like, honestly. But Switch 2 version, it's like a solid 60. It feels fucking good. It's awesome. Also finally got my first shiny. I got a random shiny Go-Goat. So, that was cool. But yeah, I don't really know how to feel about the ending. The ending was kind of weird, like, all over the place. And I kind of felt like I had no idea what was going on half the time. And yeah, so that was that. I finally fuck. That one snuck up on me. I think I need another drink. Give me a second. I think I really fucked up my voice, to be honest. Because I did singing this morning. Then I went to therapy and I had extra time. So before I did that, before I went in to my appointment, I decided to record another video. Then I went to therapy and spoke, for an hour. And then I came here and I started speaking for another hour. So been pretty tired. I really kind of overused my vocal cords today, I think. So yeah, but I just finally started feeling better on Sunday. Still have some congestion. Not constantly sneezing and all that, and my head feels a little better. And I'm not cold anymore, but I'm still kind of cold, but it's just winter now. So yeah, work is all right. It's been a couple of things. So for example, I'm at to work 2 days with this asshole coworker this week. I'm also working 40 hours this week. Because every day is an 8-hour shift for some reason. Which, okay. You know what? I'll take it. And, also, the store assistant manager, he's been a little, he's been maybe going a little too above and beyond recently. Like, he wants us to, like, basically be open right up until, the store closes, which is like, what? That's crazy. I don't know why, like, our store kind of has, like, a policy where they're, like, willing to let they want, like, the store to be open. Like, it's like a customer walks in, like, 1 minute before closing, and they're just like, yeah, take your time, no big deal. And it's like, what? Like, what? What? So, I really don't like that about the deli, because, like, we're supposed to, be cleaning and stuff, which usually we finish a little early, and then we go and we like take our breaks and stuff, right? That's like the point, is that we we don't take our breaks and we get everything done, and then we get a break at the end. But like now apparently they don't want us to do that, I guess. I don't know. But like we're supposed to be closed an hour before the store closed. You know, like no serving customers anymore after, you know, an hour before the store closes. But like now he's kind of overriding what our deli manager is doing. So don't know what's going to happen there. We'll see what happens. Other than that, I've been wearing a mask at work. Because I just don't want to get anybody else sick. So, I've been doing that. It's been mostly fine. I kind of have to keep my glasses a little like further so that they don't fog up. And, also, it was pinching my nose a little bit last night when I was working. But I think generally speaking, I'm probably fine. I can probably work and it's fine and I'm not going to get people sick, but I'm not 100% sure, and I haven't been coughing that much. I mean, a lot of other people have been coughing way more than me. Like the guy at the bakery, dude. I kept hearing him all night. He's going, you know, fucking like coughing a lot. He wasn't wearing a mask. But it's one of those things where it's like, I really can't believe that people were so hysterical about masks during COVID. And the thing I always thought was so crazy, dude, is like the logic of what they were fucking doing, right? Because they're sitting there crying about how masks, you know, they're fucking, you know, they're evil because, you know, they're like getting you sick because, you know, you're covering your nose and your mouth and like you're breathing in like the carbon dioxide and whatever the fuck. And it's like, that's, you know, stupid. But they're also saying that masks don't do anything. So it's like, how can you have it both ways where it's like, well, masks don't keep anything out of the environment because all the stuff goes through. But they also make you sick because you're breathing in the stuff that you're breathing out. Like, that doesn't make any sense. What? Like, you're literally, if you just took 5 seconds to think about your own logic, you would realize how fucking stupid it is. So, yeah. Like, it's an inconvenience, but like, the thing that annoys me the most is just, why can't these people just admit? It's like, I'm fine with you just being like, hey, listen, I don't want to wear a mask. You know, end of discussion, right? But it's like, they know that people are going to look at them and be like, well, you're being a little bit of a selfish asshole because you know, you don't have a real reason to wear one. It's just you don't want to wear it because it's uncomfortable or whatever, right? But like, they don't want to be seen like that, so they come up with like some bullshit reason of like, well, you know, masks are killing people, and it's like, what? Like, you do realize that in other countries, people wear masks and there is zero issue. Like, you know, it was like a fucking common thing in like Japan and Korea and stuff for people to wear masks because there's so many people there and because they, you know, they're a society where they don't care that much about the individual, they care about the society itself. And so they're willing to be a little more selfless to, you know, for the good of society, right? And like, then you have people here who are like acting like fucking masks are killing everybody. And it's like, what the fuck are you on, dude? What are you on? Like, it's one thing if it's like, okay, well, I don't want to wear a mask. But it's another thing when they're like trying to impose their will on you. And it's like, you know, you can't wear a mask because it's killing people. And it's like, it's not. It's really not. Or, you know, well, you need to take off that mask because masks don't work anyway. And it's like, what? How does that make any sense? Like, whatever. So, yeah. But this is the final weekly update of the year. It was a pretty interesting year overall. I felt like it was good to do this on this day because, you know, yeah. I don't know when I plan to upload this. Maybe I'll try to upload it tonight. But I kind of wanted tonight as well something I really wanted to do was the past couple years, something I like doing is I like to have a yearly cave story playthrough. And I kind of forgot about it up until now, and I was like, I have not played Cave Story this year, and I probably should play it. And so I was trying to think about how to spice it up a little bit, and I was thinking maybe this year I'll play it on my MacBook, because apparently there's a Mac OS Steam version, and I found out the Mac OS Steam version doesn't work, but it does. But you have to get like, you have to get like a kind of a different, I don't even know what the word to call it would be. Like, it's kind of like a remake of Cave Story, but like it's just they rewrote it in like a different language. But so I got that, and I'm gonna, play that at some point. I think I'm gonna play it tonight before the new year comes, so I can say I did my yearly playthrough of Cave Story and not give up on that tradition. But yeah, overall, I think it was a pretty good year. I think I feel pretty decent. My voice doesn't feel that great, to be honest, right now. I feel like I really got rested after this. But yeah, I feel like 2026, I'm going to keep doing a lot of the same, but then also trying to really get better with things and trying to, trying to figure out what I'm going to do next, because I don't see myself staying in a deli forever. I could stay here for a couple years as I do school and stuff, but I got to figure something out long term, because let me tell you, dude, you don't make a living as a deli guy. You really, or at least a living, that most people would want, right? Where it's like you have a family and you have, a house or something. That's probably not happening. Especially not as a deli guy where you're making like little over minimum wage, maybe. So, I don't know, man. Corporations are just kind of greedy. So, it is what it is. I get it. It's like, you made this company, you deserve more money. I get it, right? It's also like, you could part ways with just a little bit more money for your employees, and it wouldn't really hurt your bottom line, and it's going to make your employees much happier, but you won't, because you want as much money as possible. Sucks. But yeah. I will I will talk a little more about things in the next video, which will actually be from past me, before my appointment today, because I had some time. So I thought I'd record another video, and you'll probably see that soon. Hopefully, if I don't get sick again, and I don't I'm not like dying and I'm off the face of the earth for a while. But yeah, I'll be talking about that in the next video when I talk about kind of, not looking at the trend and all that. And maybe I'll make a video just kind of talking about what I plan to do in 2026 or something like that. I don't quite know. I don't know. I'm just tired. I've had a decently long day. Got into a little scary situation on the highway, I'm not going to lie to you. And yeah, it's been a day. But, made it through. Everything's good. I'm going to go home. I'm going to go prepare for the next 3 days of work, because I am working Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 8-hour shifts. Woo! Hopefully next week, a little bit more of a return to normalcy. And I can kind of get back on the grind a little bit of making videos and all this stuff. And maybe I can actually make some main channel videos, because that was supposed to happen this year. It didn't. Turns out when you get a job and I'm basically past the cutoff of like full-time at this point. It's like I'm working 40 hours this week. So I don't know. But yeah, I think with that, it's probably best I leave it off here. It has been a very long video. My voice is very tired. I am tired. I want to go home. I want to play some Cave Story and maybe mess around with the keyboard or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, with that, I wish you a happy new year, I guess. If you made it this far somehow, I doubt you did, but who knows? I mean, look, things are going up for the channel right now, bro. that shattered my reality video, bro. Oh man. I knew it was probably gonna do okay. Like it was kind of an interesting thumbnail and interesting title, but I didn't expect it to do as good as it did. It did better than pretty much anything else that I've uploaded. So that's awesome. Or maybe not better than anything else, but like better than a lot of stuff that I've uploaded in that short time. That's good. So I'm gonna try to keep doing that. I'm gonna try to keep making titles and thumbnails that are interesting. Which, speaking of which, I guess I should have made a thumbnail for this. And I don't really have like, there's not really a central theme. I don't know. I could just like, I'm tired. You know, just, I don't know, something like this. My nose is running. My nose started running. I don't know. Maybe I'll just like do one of these. Is that good? I don't know. I'll figure something out, I guess. I'm tired. So yeah, I guess that's it.